All right, we're back with Chicago Footy Fan TV. We're here at the Globe, here for Arsenal versus West Ham. Halftime, we're up 1-0. I'm here with Elliot of the Arsenal Vision podcast. So, Elliot, tell me your first half reactions. How do you think the game went so far? How do we play? Any standout performers?
Yeah, well, first of all, I got to give a shout out to the Chicago Gooners, to the Globe. Awesome place to see a game. Love coming in here for Goonerpalooza. I think a weird game because we tried a midfield configuration that we haven't used before. I think a lot of people were excited to see it. But then with Odegaard taking that hit on the knee, we're not sure obviously what the injury is, and then I think he tried to run it off. It was a weird period of the game. Could have gone behind right away, right, from that corner kick, but after that, maybe unlucky not to be ahead. I do think that once Zubimendi came in for Odegaard, the shape looked a little more familiar. Players looked a little more comfortable on the pitch. And what can you say about Declan Rice? He's been everywhere. I don't think he's always had his best games against West Ham, but today he looked like he had a point to prove.
Absolutely. So on that note with the lineup, obviously Arteta has gotten a lot of stick recently for, having the handbrake on. Today he went with the midfield of Odegaard and Eze in the midfield. Obviously Odegaard went out injured. So what were your first impressions of that midfield? Although it wasn't out there for a long time, did you think that it gelled well together?
It's really interesting because I think there's this almost relational thing that's happening where players are just going where the space is. So Odegaard's dropping to get the ball, Eze's going up the pitch, then they're swapping. Calafiori's role is really interesting, watching what he's doing because he's just finding those little pockets of space wherever they are in midfield. And I do think you saw them trying to feel out each other, where they were going to be, what they were going to do. One thing I noticed when we have Odegaard on the pitch, I think this season we've seen a little more balance left side and right side, but with Odegaard on the pitch and Saka back, that right-sided gravity has returned. And so I think it took a little more time for Eze to get into the game. When Zubimendi came in, I think Eze took a little more prominent role in building play, and we saw some of that balance come back. So it's not that I never want to see the Odegaard and Eze midfield together again, and hopefully Odegaard's fit enough that we will. But I think finding that balance of how they're going to combine together is going to just take time.
100%. And lastly here, obviously I want to go a little bit big picture.
Yeah.
The game isn't over, but as of right now, we are top of the table pending Chelsea-Liverpool. So can you give me your insight on, or your feelings for how we're going to do this year in terms of the Premier League? Do you believe that we can go and do it, get over the line and win the Premier League this year? Obviously, Liverpool should be the favorites, but yeah, tell me what you think.
I think it's going to be an interesting case study on squad building because Liverpool said, let's take what we're good at, attacking and scoring goals, and really power it up with even more emphasis on attacking and scoring goals. Look at the flying fullbacks they got with Kerkez and Frimpong. Look at getting Ekitike and getting Isak and Wirtz. They went full into what they do well. Arsenal said, let's protect ourselves this season by covering all the zones of the pitch with depth and capability where we can rotate and keep our players fresh. And I think you're going to find out which of those strategies works better. The thing that I regret most about last season is we didn't see Slot's team under pressure down the stretch. You're seeing already some of the cracks emerging and Slot looking like that mask might be slipping a little bit. So let's just see what happens if we can keep that pressure on. If we do go top of the table into the international break, they don't have that serenity they had most of last season. I think it'll make for a really interesting title race.
Awesome.